I love Hermione. Yeah, I also didn't like the Ginny and Potter agenda. Like, it didn't make sense. Ginny just came out of nowhere. I made wild theories for this movie.
Harry Potter, number 6, Half-Blood Prince.
You're too not excited.
Okay. You can do it then. I don't have the energy.
You bumped the thing. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. We're getting right into it. I love Hermione. Okay?
When do you not love Hermione?
I always love Hermione. Now, something you've probably noticed in the last couple of videos is the videos are getting longer because I'm writing down every thought I have, basically. So we're not gonna mention like a bunch of minor thoughts. We're only gonna talk about the important stuff. I didn't want to start this one. I knew it was make or break time for Harry and Hermione. I was like, but I could write a rhetorical novel.
Even though you said that, you do have lots of hope. As it keeps going, and I'm like, surely by now, Boady's like, it's not gonna happen, and then you're just like, wait, maybe they could redeem itself.
The movie kept giving him like sweet moments, like even in like the last. Okay, whatever. We'll get to that later. The Death Eaters kidnapped Ollivander, and like they just never explained it again what happened to him in the movie. So like
I just don't even remember him getting kidnapped. I remember him getting tortured, but other than that, I don't remember.
They show what happened later in the series, but like on that movie, I was like, what the heck happened? I was super hyped when Malfoy finally went to jail or Azkaban. I was like, why wasn't he exposed earlier?
I love his hair. It's just amazing.
I hated Potter like picking up normal girls now.
Yeah.
I was like, is he a hoe? What happened to Cho? What about Hermione?
Yeah, that's you could have left out, is he a hoe, or what about Cho?
Well,
you could just said what about Hermione, because that's the only thing that you were worried about.
I thought of is he a hoe? What about Cho? And it rhymed, so I had to keep it. They don't really explain how. Okay, they explained his hand, what happened to it, but they don't explain like how he got the ring.
Yeah.
And then I don't. Why did Dumbledore lick the dragon's blood?
Okay.
That was so weird.
He was probably just like
to see if it's dragon blood.
Well, Slughorn was in the chair, and he suspected he was hiding somewhere. So by finding that it was dragon's blood, he knew that it was someone magic that was there, because the normal people don't have the dragon's blood.
Yeah, like a lot of the minor stuff is about Hermione, so I'm gonna try and not talk about it. Right here, I call it out. I was like, so Snape is actually bad? What is happening? I was like, or is he actually bad, or is he just like gonna double cross and like he's actually good and he's just fake being bad? I was like, nothing can surprise me, but I'm very confused.
You were very spot on with that one.
And then I was like, if Snape is bad, I blame James Potter.
Honestly, yeah.
James was a jerk. Yeah, this movie has a bunch of relationship stuff, so I commented a lot about it. Like, a random girl liked Ronald, and I got excited about it. This was hilarious. This is one of my favorite tweets. A random idea, but I should go mow my grass, start carrying, like, new parchment with me, and then, like, use spearmint toothpaste. If you don't pick up the reference, those were the 3 things Hermione smelt when she smelled the love potion.
Yeah.
And then I literally, like, a couple days ago, I went to go get more toothpaste. I literally made sure I got spearmint toothpaste because of that. And then I was like, bro, I would poison Hermione with so much love potion. I thought this is pretty much what they did, but I was like, no way they hyped up Hermione dating Harry for 5 movies, just for them to be like, Dumbledore like slightly mentions it, you know?
Yeah.
And they just brush it off.
He mentioned it like he did it like that multiple times. Only once?
Only once.
Are you sure?
One time, and it's like maybe a sentence conversation. I freaked out whenever Hermione's like, what if Ginny looked over here and saw you snogging me? You know I freaked out.
Yeah.
I sent you voice memos of me freaking out.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, Hermione, that would be the worst thing ever to ever happen in the history of anything. Why would you say that? At the Slughorns like dinner party, like the desserts, everyone's like, so what do your Muggle parents do, Hermione? And Hermione's like, they're dentists. No one knew what they were talking about. So like,
okay, they're also British.
They're not. Oh, true.
Do dentists exist in Britain?
I've heard they don't, but I was like, apparently dentists don't exist in Wizardland. So
yeah.
Valander, when she kisses
Lavender.
Ron, what?
Lavender.
Lavender?
Yeah.
I said Valander.
Yeah.
Okay, when Lavender kisses Ron, I got so excited. I was like, the movie, like they're giving Ron a girlfriend, like Hermione's gonna like never want to mess with Ron again, and then like Hermione got sad, and I was like,
oh shit, here we go again.
Ron made Hermione cry again, bro.
For the third time.
Third time. I was like, kill Ron. Kill him. I don't care. I was like, there's like 5 reasons to keep him alive. So many reasons to kill him.
I just don't understand how you never saw how forced like Ron and Lavender, because Ron did not like her at all. He was upset with her.
This was what it looked like to the movies. Ron never had anyone look his way. He was always jealous of Harry, always jealous of Harry's powers, always jealous of like him and Hermione's relationship. And then like the second someone like really likes him, he's just like, okay, that's realistic.
Well, no, because when they were doing the Quidditch tryouts, that girl was there and she was saying stuff like, go Ron, you know, and he was not happy with it.
He was just kind of like, meh.
I mean, yeah, but
it was just someone finally like appreciating him, so like he enjoyed it. That it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
Basically, I was just really mad at Ron because he made her cry. And then, okay, the result of Hermione crying was Harry and Hermione spending more intimate time together. She was like hugging him, like head on shoulder, crying. He was comforting her.
Yeah.
So the movie is still like giving them super sweet moments. It's just it's trying to like incorporate Ron now, and it doesn't.
They do have a lot of moments like that, I'll admit, but I just don't. I never saw it like that. I can see how you could see it like that, though.
It's there. I got so much evidence behind it. I could write a novel about it.
You pretty much have.
I pretty much have written a novel about it. I got 500 tweets. This is kind of a minor detail about Hermione, but I don't care. I was like, Hermione in a pink dress again? This movie knows what it's doing. The adults, okay, they were, I don't know why, but Ramus and Nymphadora, that's her name? Mm-hmm. They were like totally downplaying when Harry heard about like Snape is supposed to kill, Draco's supposed to kill Dumbledore, and Snape's the backup plan.
Well,
like, they kind of ignored him.
But they would always say, like, if Dumbledore trusts him, we trust him, which they were right.
So they could have known.
I mean, yeah, they were right for trusting.
But even then,
him.
like, why did they keep it from Harry? That's kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but Harry shouldn't have been kept in the dark about that. Yeah, I also didn't like the Ginny and Potter agenda. Like, it didn't make sense. I thought Ginny just came out of nowhere.
Yeah. In the movie, she really just didn't ever. There was no presence.
Well, we'll talk about that when they kiss. Yeah. But then Ron starts dying. I was so happy. I was like, yes, the movie's finally doing something wrong. Like,
quotations. He lived.
Yeah, he lives. I was like, they finally listened to me. The movie's gonna redeem itself. Like, Ron's gonna die. Ron's gonna not be with Hermione. Like, it's perfect. I still stand by this. The vanishing cabinets aren't special if the fireplaces do the exact same thing.
I mean, I don't know. There's the fireplaces are more guarded, I guess, and wouldn't be as easy for him to, because I'm sure they can't just go into a random fireplace without. Maybe I don't know how the fireplaces work in Harry Potter though. I think we need some clear rules.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules.
There's a lot of things we need clear rules on.
And then Harry basically kills Draco and leaves him for dead. Yeah, and like that's just like not like freaked out about enough. That's so downplayed. Like, he left Draco to die.
That's not something that I would expect him to do.
Yeah, but Snape saves him.
Yeah,
obviously. Maybe that's why it's downplayed, because he didn't actually die.
Yeah, I agree, because I feel like if he actually did kill him, it would be like a more
everyone would freak out.
Yeah.
And then freaking Ginny kisses Potter, bro. I was like, this relationship didn't make any sense as well. It was like, at least Cho made a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
Like
they flirted. Yeah, they did.
They had their little like romantic scenes. I didn't enjoy them because Hermione, but it still made sense. This one made no sense at all.
Liquid lick.
Liquid lick is super overpowered. Liquid luck is super overpowered. Like, it literally said everything they attempt becomes successul. What happens when Voldemort just uses that?
I hope that was really difficult to get and like come by, because if people just had that would be so stupid.
Yeah, even if it took like a year to make.
Like, what would you
make one every
What would
year.
you do if? So say I'm gonna come and play rock paper scissors against you, and we both took the luck potion. What happens then? Like, what do we do?
Draws.
I know, honestly.
Honestly, they didn't even need Slughorn's memory to figure out like the Horcrux
that was
stuff.
They
should have just been like, how did Tom Riddle live in this diary? Let's go look at all the dark magic to see what he did, and figured it out. I wish it explained how Voldemort like got the ring from Tom Riddle's mom or whatever. Okay, this didn't make sense. Dumbledore was like too weak to speak. He was like, Harry, water. And then all of a sudden, like, Harry's, like, drowning. So Dumbledore suddenly has, like, the power to stand up and, like, fire hurricane tornado. Like, okay, that scene where, like, he was, like, super weak and then he still had a fire tornado. I was like, maybe Dumbledore should just fight Voldemort, you know?
The fire tornado was so cool.
That was
so cool.
And then, then Dumbledore Dang it, I said it again. Dumbledore dies. I really didn't believe it, honestly. I was like, they're gonna magic him back to life.
But when he died, it was so sad. Like, I knew he was gonna die just by the way, like, his death. Because when people die and they come back to life, it's not, they don't make it sad or emphasize it that much. But his was, that was a good death. It was a meaningful. And when they put all their wands, that was like getting rid of the snake thing in the sky. That was sad.
And then they go and blow up Hagrid's hut. I was like, Hagrid's dead. No, I guess he just wasn't home. And then Snape ended up being the Half-Blood Prince. That was crazy.
I can't remember. I feel like that was probably a pretty good, like, would you say that was a pretty good plot twist? That you didn't expect it to be Snape?
No, I thought it was gonna be like.
Who did you think it was gonna be?
I thought it was gonna be Tom Riddle, and
did you really?
Turns out like he wasn't.
Yeah,
actually
I could see that being
pure blood or something.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so Dumbledore is dead, and like Potter's mourning, and then all of a sudden they decide that's a good time for Ginny to go like support Harry. No, like so many people could have been there. McGonagall, Hagrid, Ron. Maybe he's not very compassionate. Like Cho would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hermione would have made the most sense. Someone go comfort Harry. Like 5 people make more sense than Ginny. Like,
yeah.
And then they show a solo shot of Hermione crying by herself. I was like, that's so inaccurate. She would so be like hugging Harry right now. She wouldn't just be crying by herself. I was mad.
Well, she probably is just a good person, is letting Ginny get with him, because you just know she's amazing. She would be like, Ginny feels good for him.
I know. Hermione would be like, Ginny feels good for him?
I don't know what I said. Did I say that?
Yes.
Jenny is good for him.
We've been recording for so long. And then they did it all for just one fake Horcrux. And
yeah.
Listen, the final scene. I would be okay if it was like the first 4 movies. They were like, oh, we accidentally made Hermione look like Harry's girlfriend, so we're just going to stop with that nonsense. And like they quit giving them cute moments. The whole final scene of the movie, they're like at the top of the castle on the balcony, overlooking like the sunset and the water and the mountains and the clouds, and the birds are flying, and they have like the sweetest moment ever. They're like holding hands, like telling like Hermione being like, no, you need us, we'll always be here for you. And like Ron is there. Ron is literally there. He's 20 feet away, and he doesn't say a word the whole scene. He just like, even he knew to like. You
gotta feel bad for Ron in that moment, though.
I know, because they have a way better relationship than like. Oh my gosh, it doesn't make sense. Why would the movie keep giving them those types of like sweet moments? I don't think I've done nearly enough Hermione praise. She's perfect and hot, and I love her.
That is false.
I know. Okay, even with all the praise I've given her, it's still not enough. She's perfect. Hot take: James Potter is at fault for making. I was like, hot take: James and the like Order of the Phoenix that ignored Potter, like they're at fault for Dumbledore's death.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he knew he was gonna die anyway.
Well, we find that out, but at the time I was blaming them. Then these were the questions I had. I didn't know why Dumbledore licked the blood.
To just figure out
see if it's dragon's blood. Even then, I wouldn't risk it. I wouldn't like try and lick it.
He's not scared of bloodborne diseases.
I guess. When did apparating like become a thing? They never explain it.
I'm pretty sure it's like 6th or 7th year they teach you how to do it. So before then, you don't really know how to do it.
That would make sense, but they should have like at least mentioned it.
No, because they did it in in the 5th.
Dumbledore.
In the 4th one, they used when they used the port key.
Yeah, so
it's similar though.
Apparating wasn't a thing as a port key. It was just randomly a thing all of a sudden. And then Tom Riddle got a recruitment visit from Dumbledore. Everyone else just got a letter. That was so. Why didn't Bellatrix like blow up the Weasley house while everyone was inside?
Maybe she didn't want to kill them, but at the same time, I don't think she would be upset by killing them. Just get it over with.
Yeah.
But also, she didn't want to kill Harry because Voldemort wanted.
Okay, then like just get Harry out of the house and then blow it up.
The scene was that in this movie when they were like, running through the cornfield and Ginny was there. That's scary.
Yeah,
that scared me.
It was a pretty scary scene. Snape and Draco, like Snape saved Draco's life.
Mm-hmm.
And I already mentioned it wasn't like talked about enough. Like Harry literally killed Draco if it wasn't for Snape. But like he was using magic to prevent death. Snape was. Like when did that become a thing? That could have been like so useful in like earlier like
I don't
movies.
think it was the death. Like when they do the death spell, like whatever it is.
Avada Kedavra.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That I think that's irreversible.
That's instant
But
dead.
the one that Harry used was like obscure.
It just like it saves you from being like wounded.
And I think it was just like cuts and stuff. So I don't know. It's similar. I'm assuming it's similar to like the drops that Hermione put.
The splinch stuff. Yeah. Why would Harry attempt like getting a memory with liquid luck?
That was the
liquid
waste.
luck is way more valuable.
That was so wasteful.
Like either it's so rare that we only get to see it one time in 8 movies, or they just don't use it enough. Like just like down it right before your last fight with Voldemort, and you know you can't lose.
I guess you could say he didn't really know he was gonna have a final fight with Voldemort, but at the same time he did because of the prophecy.
Just save it for that.
I don't know.
Okay, the potion that was guarding the Horcrux, they just assumed that Dumbledore had to drink it. Like, what if they just like moved it? You know, like spill it on the ground. Why did it have to be drank?
What did they do? They did something and it like didn't come out, didn't they?
After Dumbledore was like, I need water, and so he's like, water.
And then, like, the water and it didn't come out.
But still, I was like, why did you assume you had to be poisoned? Oh, this is funny. I did this twice.
Yeah.
I was like, surely Ron's house can't be safe for Harry. Post movie, it wasn't safe. Okay, I was like, why did no one explain Snape's vow to Dumbledore? You know?
I'm sure he knew about it.
Well, you know, we know what happens, but like, at the time I was so confused. I was like, someone should have mentioned it. Okay, hear me out. I made wild theories for this movie. This one hit. I was like, a Horcrux is something Voldemort puts a piece of himself into through killing. And I was like, Dumbledore said all magic leaves a trace. Potter's connected to Voldemort, which is a trace. And I was like, because of an attack, he killed Lily. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and the prophecy says that like one of them must live, one of them must die. I was like, is Potter a Horcrux? Like, what separates the two?
Yeah.
Like, he kind of meets all the requirements. Like, maybe it's because he's like not an inanimate object. I was like, I needed more information to like understand it. I was just like I even said this question was kind of stupid, but it made sense in my head.
Bro, that was so spot on. I don't.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. But I was just throwing. I was throwing crazy guesses at what happens, but and obviously there's a lot of minor details, but we didn't get into those.